Exclusive contracted novel by Feilu Fiction Network. People write diaries in Elves and are chased by the whole world. Crossing the world of Elves, writing a diary becomes stronger. I was originally planning to silently survive, and once I develop, I will compete for the strongest in the world. But I didn't expect that the diary I wrote could be seen by a specific character. Sakaki. Expose my identity, right? Wait for me, kid. Chaomeng. Even though being enslaved by the rockets is enough, you still want to tame me. Latias. Who should transform and warm up the bed with you? Do you believe me to tell my brother? Sharona. I can understand everything else, why did you just call your wife when you got to me? Who is your wife? Feilu Novel Network reminds you that this novel and its characters are purely fictional. If there are any similarities, they are purely coincidental and should not be imitated. Chapter 1. Elf Diary, Shocked Sakaki. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chonpan City, Gwandu Prefecture. Sakaki, who had just finished his journalist interview, returned to his dojo with a joyful mood. In a private office. Just pushed open the door. Sakaki saw a thick notebook on the table. Is this the plan letter sent by the real bird? Picking up the notebook on the table, Sakaki realized that it was actually a diary. Su Lin's diary, Sakaki's copy. Su Lin's diary. Who is Su Lin? Why does his diary appear here? Murmuring to oneself. Sakaki's face also showed a look as if facing a great enemy. On the surface here is the Changpan Dao Hall. One of the official Taoist temples of the Quartz Alliance in the Gwandu region. But in fact, this is actually a secret base for the rockets. Sakaki, the owner of the Daoguan Pavilion, is also the behind-the-scenes boss of the rockets. The entire Daoguan has long been transformed by Sakaki into a kingdom completely under his control. His office. Except for the secretary Jinyao, even some core members cannot enter. To put it bluntly. Not even a mosquito can fly in here. But now, suddenly there is an unknown diary in the office. Exclude the possibility of the secretary suddenly having a convulsion. The only remaining possibility is that the office has been hacked. However, whether it's asking the secret guard on duty today or checking the surveillance inside the museum. Even searched the entire office inside and outside several times. Sakaki didn't find anything. What exactly is going on? There are clearly no signs of invasion. The real bird hasn't been here today either. How exactly did this diary appear here? Thinking is fruitless. Sakaki once again focused his attention on the diary at hand. Let's take a look at the content of this diary first, maybe we can find some clues. With a solemn expression. Sakaki opened the diary in his hand. Elf world, oh, my dream of becoming the strongest trainer can finally be fulfilled now. Damn it. I finally got it on, but you should give me some cheats. Don't you have any benefits for beginners? Even if none of these works, at least give me an initial elf, right, boy, let's just forget about being poor and penniless. We've all come to this world, yet we're still alone, playing. Crossing the world. What does this mean? Is it difficult for the owner of this diary not to belong to this world? Cosmic visitors. The elf world is incredibly vast, and there are also many fairies from the universe visiting here. Sakaki immediately linked Su Lin's identity with certain civilizations in the universe. If it's really an outsider, it's a bit interesting, but is the content in the diary true? Thinking of Su Lin's extraordinary identity. The desire to explore the truth is even greater. With this mood, Sakaki continued to browse through the following content. Although the starting point is average, with an understanding of the world, it should take a little time to take off. The current time point is. Surprisingly, it's almost time for the Quartz Conference to be held. I don't know if Xiaoji will participate in this session of the Quartz Conference. Mr. Sakaki, a well-known Taoist trainer, accepted an interview with our reporter to share with everyone the secret to a successful trainer. This news is a bit interesting. Now it can be confirmed that Sakaki, the old six, is still struggling. It seems that this quartz conference is undoubtedly Xiaoji's debut. Old six. Gone with it. Who the hell are you talking about? See these descriptions. Rao, with Sakaki's nature, couldn't help but expose his veins. Whether it's ruling the rockets or being the king in the dark world of Guandu. As the strongest Taoist trainer in Guandu. No one dares to say that to him. Forcefully suppress the anger in your heart. Sakaki quickly realized something. Does this guy named Su Lin know my true identity? This speculation came to mind. Sakaki's face couldn't help but shed a cold sweat. Quickly continue flipping through the following content. Tisk, Uncle Sakaki is really a bit handsome. He is indeed a representative of successful men. But how happy you are laughing on TV now, how miserable you will cry afterwards. You probably didn't know your backyard was going to catch fire. Chaomeng's comeback. You'll cry when Chaomeng gets out of trouble. Also, if I were you, I would quickly pack up and run away. Your identity as the boss of the rocket team won't be hidden, do you know? The Castle of Sakaki. I can still read the content in front of the diary calmly. But when I see the following paragraph. But in his heart, a turbulent wave stirred up. Chaomeng. How could it be? Chaomeng plan is a top secret within the rockets. Even the top executives don't know the internal details. How did this guy named Su Lin know? And by the way, my identity has already been exposed. But obviously there is no news from the Quartz Alliance. The content of the diary is too thrilling. Even Sakaki. I was also a bit panicked for a while. No, regardless of whether these contents are true or not, Chaomeng absolutely cannot afford to lose them. Compared to revealing one's identity. Obviously, Chaomeng, the secret weapon that the rockets have worked hard for 2 generations, is even more important. Embrace the ideas that Ning believes in. Sakaki immediately put away his diary and rushed towards the location of Chaomeng. At this moment, Chaomeng was sleeping soundly underground in the Changpan Dao Hall. As a secret weapon developed by the rocket team. Chaomeng has reached its final stage. Sakaki has even put Chaomeng into practical combat. Recently, Sakaki often immerses Chaomeng in dojo competitions. Not only can it test the performance of Chaomeng, but it can also collect enough data to further improve Chaomeng. Immediately close all passages inside the museum, increase the level of vigilance to the maximum, prepare all trainers for battle, and evacuate all personnel in the laboratory. Hurry anxiously towards the location of Chaomeng. Sakaki calmly issued instructions one by one. Although I was extremely shocked by the content of the diary. But as the leader of the largest evil organization in Guandu, Sakaki still forcefully stabilized his mind. Under his command. In an instant, the entire Changpan Taoist Hall became a huge cage. Without Sakaki's permission. No one can enter or exit the Changpan Taoist Hall at this moment. At the same time as the changes occurred in the Changpan Dao Hall, Chaomeng, who had been sleeping in the underground laboratory of the Daoguan, suddenly opened his eyes. A crimson glow shot out from the eyes of Superman. Just like Sakaki. Chaomeng also got a diary. But the diary of Chaomeng has no substance. But suddenly appeared in Chaomeng's mind. With the help of imagination, Chaomeng can read everything in the diary. Therefore, Chaomeng also understood one thing, his premeditated plan to escape has been exposed. Chapter 2. Chaomeng escape, Kona arrives. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Sulin, why would this person know about my plan? Is the current change in Changpan Daoguan related to him? There's nothing we can do, it seems like we have to take early action. Click. While contemplating beyond dreams, the door of the underground laboratory suddenly opened. Chaomeng raised his head slightly. I saw the human who had been enslaving him, Sakaki. Endless anger and hatred surged from the heart. The tyranny in the heart is urging Chaomeng to tear the person in front of him into pieces. On the other end of the laboratory, the moment when Chaomeng's gaze met, Sakaki confirmed the authenticity of the diary content. Chaomeng, there is really a possibility of getting out of control. Immediately increased the energy power of the armor to its maximum. Activate the suppression position and set up a mental cage. Quick. Sakaki roared and gave instructions to the subordinates on the other side of the earphones. However, the rocket's actions were still one step slower. At the moment of seeing Sakaki, Chaomeng knew that his plan had to be advanced. With both hands clenching their fists, Chaomeng's muscles suddenly bulged throughout his body. A tremendous force surged out of the body of Chaomeng. Click. 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 The means used by the rockets to control Chaomeng, the pitch-black armor attached to the surface of Chaomeng's body, emitted waves of unbearable sounds. Roar. Chaomeng suddenly let out a low growl. The originally intangible superpowers now coalesce into substance. A powerful impact erupted from within Chaomeng's body. Smashed the armor on the surface of Chaomeng's body into pieces. Not only that, this impact even completely destroyed the entire laboratory. Sakaki, standing at the entrance of the laboratory, reacted quite promptly. Taking advantage of the situation, he rolled out of the laboratory. Otherwise, this rocket's boss may be completely defeated here. The shackles that have always been suddenly lifted. Chaomeng couldn't help but breathe a sigh of relief. The joy in the heart cannot be described in words. The most important thing is, his powerful superpowers can no longer be suppressed. From now on, you can freely exert yourself. The armor worn by Chaomeng. Not just the means used by the rockets to control him. At the same time, it can significantly suppress the superpowers of super dreams. The rockets are well aware of the terrifying nature of this secret weapon. So I am also trying my best to suppress the power of Chaomeng. Just afraid that this sharp blade will turn against the rockets themselves. Sakaki, I will repay you 10 times the pain I have suffered. The first time to overcome difficulties. Chaomeng wanted to seek revenge against Sakaki. However, an invisible energy stance suddenly rose around the entire laboratory. In an instant, Chaomeng felt like his head was filled with more than 10 pounds of cement. Mind is completely uncontrollable, and powerful spiritual power cannot be exerted. This is the order given by Sakaki before. Since this laboratory can be used to place super dreams, I am naturally prepared with enough backers. I cannot guarantee anything else. It is still possible to use technological means to limit the power of Chaomeng in a short period of time. Well, it's not the time yet. Chaomeng doesn't want to fall into the control of the rockets again. Forcefully suppress the killing intent in your heart and cheer yourself up. Chaomeng looked up at the ceiling. Spiritual breakdown. With a loud bang, the essence of the Nianli wave directly pierced through the dome, lifting the roof of the Changpan Dao Hall. Immediately after, Chaomeng rose into the sky like a rocket and rushed directly into the clouds. It disappeared in just the blink of an eye. Until Chaomeng leaves. Sakaki, who was hiding, dared to appear. Looking at the laboratory in front of me that has turned into ruins. Sakaki's face turned pale with iron. Sakaki boss. Sakaki boss. Do you have anything to do? The sound coming from the headphones made Sakaki even more annoyed. Although it has been reminded countless times that Chaomeng is of utmost importance, there must be no room for error in the laboratory. But now there is still such a big basket out. Even if it weren't for that diary. Sakaki is still in the dark. I really have to wait until Chaomeng secretly gets out of trouble. When the time comes, there will be no defense at all. Isn't he going to be crushed into minced meat by Chaomeng's spiritual power? I just met Chaomeng. The hatred and killing intent emanating from Chaomeng are clearly felt by Sakaki. Sakaki boss. Sakaki boss. Shut up, everyone. Sakaki's sudden outburst of anger silenced all the staff behind the scenes. In my impression, Sakaki, the leader of the Rockets, has always had a calm and confident demeanor. Angry, and still so angry, this is the first time. After an instant release, Sakaki forced himself to calm down. According to the diary, Chaomeng's defection is just one of them, and later on, my identity will also be exposed. This base is no longer necessary, I need to immediately withdraw from the Guandu area. Make a decision in your heart. Sakaki ordered the subordinates on the other side of the earphones again. Destroy all experimental materials, prepare everything that can be taken away, abandon the Joban dojo, and withdraw from the Guandu area. Yes. The movement of Changpan Daoguan is not small. Even attracting countless onlookers. Sakaki Akira's identity is that of a well-known land trainer. Outstanding entrepreneur in Changpan City. One of the trainers representing the Quartz Alliance. Such a celebrity, his dojo suddenly exploded. It's hard not to pay attention. However, at this time, there were many people around the Changban Taoist temple. But it appears extremely orderly, even without any disturbance. All of this is just because of one person. One of the current 4 heavenly kings of the Quartz Alliance. Ice King Kona. Standing outside the Changpan Dao Hall. Kona is holding a diary in her hand. Su Lin's diary, Kona Dungeon. Well, as expected, no one except me can see this diary. That's also good. The content of the diary is too much involved, and now it seems that the content is likely to be true. There may really be members of the Rockets hidden inside the Changpan Dao Hall. Influenced by the diary. Originally planning to head to the city capital area, Kona planned to take a detour to Joban City. I didn't expect that there would really be additional gains from this. There have really been some incidents here at Changpan Daoguan. Kona did have some doubts in her heart. But I didn't really assume that Sakaki was a member of the Rockets. Kona Heavenly King. Surprisingly, you are also here. Is this? At Changpan Taoist Hall. A voice came from behind. Kona turned around and found that Miss Jun Sha from Joban City had rushed over. Well, I'm not quite sure about the specific situation, but could you please block off the surroundings, Miss Jun Sha, and leave the inside of the museum to me? Yes, then I'll trouble you, Kona Heavenly King. Chapter 3. The Diary Owner That Everyone Hearts. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. The secret passage built underground through the Daoguan. In just a few minutes, Sakaki arrived in a suburb. There is already a helicopter and several rocket team members waiting for him here. Sakaki boss. This is all the experimental data, and all the backups in the museum have been destroyed. Sakaki nodded as he spoke, while taking a suitcase from a subordinate's hand. No nonsense. After boarding the helicopter, Sakaki quickly left here. This kind of incident occurred at Changpan Daoguan. Sakaki's identity cannot be hidden anymore. Because the secret base established underground in the Daoguan has been completely exposed. Even if Sakaki has 8 mouths, he may not be able to explain it clearly to the Elf Alliance. Plus the content of that diary. Sakaki ultimately decided to immediately withdraw from the Kanto area. Anyway, the Rockets are not just developing in Guandu. Abandoning this place will greatly damage the Rockets' morale. But as long as Sakaki is okay, then the Rockets can make a comeback anytime. Sitting inside the helicopter, Sakaki opened Su Lin's diary again. Although I don't have an initial elf, I can create one myself. There are so many legendary elves, just choose any one. Hey, if it weren't for the current stage of Chaomeng being too violent, I would really want to start with Chaomeng. By the way, I can't control Chaomeng. I can go find Menghuan. As long as this little guy has something fun to do, he can easily be abducted. Hey hee hee. Fantasy. My dream small, soft, see the content of the diary in front of you. Sakaki couldn't help but turn black. What kind of mess is all this? What about the rockets? How was the follow-up of Chaomeng? What are the next trends of the Elf Alliance? You don't say a single word about the intelligence I want to know. Half a day later, Sakaki suddenly realized. This is Su Lin's personal diary, not the intelligence network of the rockets. Su Lin, hee hee, you still want to get involved in our rocket super dream. Even want to conquer the fantasy. Alright, great. While Sakaki muttered to himself. The earphones I had been wearing suddenly rang out with the sound of the secretary's real bird. Mr. Sakaki, are you looking for me? True bird, this side of Joban City. Sakaki explained in a few words what had just happened. At the same time, some follow-up instructions were also given to the real bird. The rockets have been developing in the Guandu region for so many years. Even if the main force is withdrawn from here, it is impossible to completely abandon the Guandu area. It's just that we need to completely switch to covert activities next. And all of these things need to be coordinated by the Secretary Jinyao. By the way, there's one more thing. Next, do your best to find a guy named Su Lin for me. Su Lin. Sakaki, who is this guy? I'm not quite sure about the specific situation, but the name should be Su Lin. Hear Sakaki's words. The real bird across from me felt a stomachache. There are many people with the same name in this world. Now just giving a name without any other information, I don't even know if it's a man or a woman. How can I find it? However, the boss's instructions are absolute. Even if there is no way. The real bird can only grit its teeth and agree first. On the other side, here is Changpan Daoguan. The Kona inside the Daoguan did not encounter any obstacles. After all, the rockets have all evacuated through secret channels. Of course, the vast underground secret base of the Daoguan was completely exposed before Kona's eyes. Considering the situation of empty buildings and empty people here, Kona was a bit more convinced of the content of the diary. Just like Sakaki. After checking for a while and being idle for now, Kona also opened Su Lin's diary again and continued to review the following content. Chaomeng, this is the second time I've mentioned this name. Is it some kind of rare elf? But why haven't I heard of it before? And this dream, is this fairy that only exists in legends real? Judging from his chiseled words, he should be able to stay close to him. Interestingly, this person named Su Lin needs to find a way to find him. At the same time, far away from Joban City. Chaomeng, who was flying rapidly at high altitude, also had the same idea as Kona. Chaomeng not only possesses powerful superpowers, but also inherits all the knowledge within the rockets team. He naturally knew that his birth was closely related to dreams. After leaving the control of the rockets, finding dreams is one of the things that Superman wants to do the most. As for the rest, it is natural to destroy the rocket team and find the meaning of the existence of artificial elves. Of course, there is another important thing for Chaomeng now. That's to find this guy named Su Lin. If it weren't for this guy, I could have kept it hidden for a while and been more prepared. At that time, facing the unprepared Sakaki, I may be able to annihilate him with a thunderous force. Unfortunately, there should have been a chance. Su Lin. Wait, I will definitely find you. In the evergreen forest. Su Lin, who was being missed by everyone, suddenly sneezed. Ah Chio. At this moment, Su Lin Sitting under a huge ancient tree. Who is thinking of me? No, I don't have many acquaintances in this world either. Shaking his head, Su Lin didn't think much. Stand up from the ground. Su Lin scanned around. Sigh, it seems like there won't be many opportunities today. Let's go back first. The reason Su Lin is here. Actually, it's the same as what was said in the diary. He wants to find the legendary dream. However, even with the assistance of pre-travel knowledge. If you really want to find the trace of a certain elf in this vast world of elves, it's like looking for a needle in a haystack. Not to mention that Su Lin is looking for a restless and playful little guy. Come to Chaomeng Forest. Su Lin is just a simple chance. It won't take a moment. Su Lin walked out of the Chaomeng Forest. Unfortunately, I couldn't find the dream. I had originally planned to take her to see this bustling world. Sigh, there's nothing I can do. Just go find water, siblings. That Latias is not only powerful, but can even transform into a human form to warm my bed. It's much more useful than a dream. Okay. That's settled. Let's go to the city first. By the way, that's all for today's diary. As the last sentence falls. Suddenly, a hint came to Su Lin's mind. Today's recording has been completed. After testing, the host has not yet become an official trainer, and the rewards have been accumulated. Chapter 4 Fantasy. Hmph Now I have it. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Write a diary. This is exactly the golden finger that Su Lin got after coming to the elf world. As long as you keep accumulating diaries, Su Lin can receive a continuous stream of rewards and improve his own strength. And the diary records do not require him to start writing. The diary exists in Su Lin's mind. Just concentrate and imagine. At the same time, this is also Su Lin's reliance on daring to venture into the evergreen forest alone without elves. In the state of recording a diary, Su Lin will not be harmed by the outside world. Simply put, he is invincible when writing a diary. The only downside is Su Lin is not a trainer yet. The reward for writing a diary cannot be extracted and can only be accumulated. Bo just walked out of the evergreen forest. A wave of waves flapped its wings and landed on Su Lin's shoulder. Bobo's eyes flickered with a lively light, not afraid to face Su Lin's 4 eyes. Su Lin tried to reach out. Bobo actually took the initiative to approach and affectionately rubbed against Su Lin's outstretched finger. It's so itchy and itchy. Frolicked for a while. Su Lin stroked the little one while asking. Bobo, are you trying to follow me? Bobo, upon hearing Su Lin's inquiry. Bobo nodded almost without hesitation. Seeing Bobo agree, Su Lin, on the other hand, became somewhat embarrassed. As a time traveler, and with golden fingers leaning against me, Su Lin naturally set himself extremely high standards. Not to mention anything else, the strongest trainer in this elf world is definitely going to dominate, right? The initial sprite is equivalent to the beginning. There is no need to say much about how important a good start is. That's why Su Lin wanted to rely on his foresight to find those legendary elves. If it weren't for the short time it took to get through, and also for spending time figuring out the rules for writing a diary, Su Lin may have been facing some legendary elves for a long time. Bobo is a common elf. It's not Su Lin's ideal first choice. It seems that Su Lin hesitated for too long. Bobo tilted his head and a puzzled expression appeared on his face. Once again, he met Popo's lively and charming gaze. Su Lin couldn't help but smile a little. Oh, what am I hesitating about? Even if it's just a wave, I want it to become the strongest wave in the world. Make up your mind. Su Lin took out a Poké ball from his pocket. Speaking of which, these were originally prepared for dreams. Anyway, Bobo, from now on we will be partners. My name is Su Lin, let's go to the peak of this world together. While speaking, Su Lin leaned the elf ball in his hand towards Bobo. However, what Su Lin didn't expect was not waiting for the Pokémon ball to approach. Bobo flapped his wings and suddenly dodged. Su Lin. Did you agree to become a partner with me? What are you up to? Wave, looking at Su Lin's expression of astonishment. The waves flying in mid-air showed an extremely humanized smile. He should be Su Lin, right? How come Yazzie, who looks a bit unwise, still wants to kidnap me like this? It's not spicy, so easy. While thinking, Bobo checked the diary in his mind. That's right, the one in front of me is not Bobo, but rather the object that Su Lin wants to conquer in his diary. Legendary Elves, Dreamy. Su Lin's luck is quite good. Today, Dream is really in the evergreen forest. And like Chaomeng, Kona, and others, Hmph also received a diary from Su Lin. Su Lin's diary, Dream Dungeon. Because it is not human. The diary possessed by Dream also exists in the mind, which is an ideology. Combine the content of the diary. Dream used its powerful spiritual power to scan the entire evergreen forest. Finally, his gaze was fixed on Su Lin, who had just left the forest. Combining what Su Lin just said, dreams can be confirmed that the person in front of us is the owner of the diary. For this diary that suddenly appears in my mind, Dream is very curious and eager to explore the truth. However, this does not mean that she is willing to be tamed. Okay, since you don't want to follow me, then I won't force it either. Su Lin sighed. Seeing Bobo unwilling to be subdued by oneself. Simply put away the Pokémon ball. Walk towards Jobin City again. Bobo, who was flying in mid-air, once again landed on Su Lin's shoulder. Wave, What do you mean, little one? You don't want to be tamed by me, and you want to stay with me. I tell you, there's nothing so cheap in this world. Bo, seeing Su Lin, seems a bit angry. Bobo immediately put on a look of grievance. Carefully rubbed Su Lin's neck. It's so itchy. Stop, I didn't say I wouldn't let you follow. Bo. Really, although I don't know what you want to do, just allow you to be by my side for now. Bo. Fantasy. Hold on to it with waves. Su Lin quickly returned to Changpan City. Just returned to Jobin City. Su Lin noticed the commotion on the other side of the Changpan Taoist Hall. As the official dojo of the Alliance, there are even celebrities like Sakaki sitting here. The Jobin Road Museum can be said to have become one of the iconic buildings of Jobin City. What's going on at Changpan Daoguan? Is there such a big commotion? Miss Junsha. With so many police officers, the area around the Daoguan is completely sealed off. TSK, I know now. It seems that Sakaki has already been exposed. He said he should run away early. Look, it's not too late, and I don't know what happened to Chaomeng. Su Lin's self-talk was completely heard by the dreamy person beside him. Although I don't know much about the rockets and Sakaki. But dreams can also be guessed. This should be the fulfillment of what was said in the diary. Did I underestimate this human being? Does he have the ability to predict the future? And this super dream, why does hearing this name touch my heart? I observed for a while. Su Lin turned around and left. With his current identity, it is impossible to delve deeper. Moreover, even if only the peripheral situation can be observed, Su Lin can also guess a rough idea. After all, in terms of the plot, he has a clear mind. Take Bobo back to your residence. Bobo just opened the door. Bobo excitedly rushed into the room. Chapter 5. Conquering Dreams. Easy to handle. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. Sulin's room is not big. As mentioned in the diary. In this world, he has little status and no useful wealth. There is a fixed residence. Some funds can guarantee a living. It's already quite good. That's why Su Lin didn't have much opportunity to go to the Elf Research Institute to claim the Imperial Three Families. He really doesn't have that much startup capital. But in the room in front of me, there are quite a few small toys and elf snacks. These things are naturally prepared for dreams. Su Lin is very familiar with the personality of dreams. To put it simply, Dream is a child with a strong sense of playfulness. So starting from eating, drinking, and playing, one can quickly establish friendships with dreams. Unfortunately, Su Lin did not block the other party in the area where Dreamland frequently frequented. Now, all the little things that Su Lin has prepared are cheap, Bobo. Don't want to be tamed by me, you still want to prostitute me for free, right? Bobo, she shook her head helplessly. Temporarily put aside the matter of Bobo. Su Lin began to tidy up and salute. The content in the diary is not something that Su Lin is joking about. He is really preparing to go to the urban area to see. The Shuidu siblings are one of the reasons. In the legend of elves, they are considered to have quite gentle personalities. In addition, there is also the appearance of Lokia near the Vortex Island. The probability of subduing adult Lokia is extremely low. But when Lokia was young, it wasn't necessarily the case. This is a legendary elf on par with the Phoenix King. Once subdued, wouldn't that be an instant takeoff? That should be enough. I've brought everything I need. A moment of time. Su Lin is well prepared. Just getting ready to see how Bobo is doing. Unexpectedly, as soon as I turned around, I saw something terrifying. Where is Bobo? Where is my big wave? How did you become Little Lotta? Fantasy is playing too crazy here. I forgot to maintain the appearance of the waves without paying attention. Transforming other elves has almost become an instinctive action for dreams. Of course, this cannot be entirely blamed on fantasy. After all, the appearance of Bobo is not very suitable for hamster wheels taking advantage of the playful Little Lotta not noticing her side. Su Lin quickly turned around again. A versatile monster. Or is it really a dreamlike master? Isn't luck so good? Elf world can transform into other elf shapes. Except for Soroa, who relies on illusions. There are only ever-changing monsters and dreams left. Based on our interactions during this period, Su Lin guessed that this little guy is very likely to be the Dream Master. If it's really a dream, then you'll make a lot of money. Well, no matter what, you have to keep him by your side for now. Make a decision in your heart. Su Lin tightly closed the suitcase at hand. With a loud bang, it startled the playing Dream. Realizing that Su Lin may shift her attention to her own side, Fantasy quickly transformed back into Bobo's appearance. Put away the luggage. Su Lin walked over to Bobo with a smile. Bobo, how are you? Have you had a good time? Waiting for Su Lin to reach out. Bobo took the initiative to approach Su Lin, rubbing affectionately against Su Lin. Seeing Bobo like this, Su Lin is more certain of the speculation in his heart. Do ordinary versatile monsters have such innate familiarity? Next, I plan to go to the urban area where there are many fun things, delicious food, and new elves to meet. Bobo, do you want to go with me? Bobo, here's Su Lin's description. There was no hesitation on Bobo's side. Nod and agree directly. Sure enough, as long as you use something interesting enough, you can firmly tie dreams to your side. Oh, hold on to it. Rest overnight in one's own room with Bobo. The next morning, After preparing a sumptuous breakfast for Bobo, Su Lin sat at his desk. My mind sank into my mind. Prepare to brainstorm new diary content. On the side, Bobo indulged in delicious elf food while looking at Su Lin in confusion. A pair of small eyes full of doubt, not knowing what Su Lin plans to do. A new day has begun, Bo. With the emergence of new diary content. People from all over the world are the first to stop what they are doing. After a night of fermentation. The evil organization Rocket Team is hidden inside the Joban Dojo, and the dojo owner Sakaki fled. This event has begun to spread in various elf alliances in various regions. Whether it's the owner of the diary who can predict the future. It is still possible to access such top-secret information with clear hands and eyes. In short, this diary has become the focus of countless people's attention. Today is a good day. See the text emerging from the diary. Sakaki, Kona, Chaomeng are all covered in black lines. We are eagerly waiting here. What are you writing about? Although this is your personal diary. But you can't be so casual, can you? Today is a good day, I have to say important things 3 times, fantasy. Ha ha ha. Fantasy. One of the top legendary elves, right beside me now. Seeing this. The dreamy face transformed into a wave-like expression of uncertainty and surprise. What the hell? Has this human discovered my identity? How could this be possible? I'm hiding it very well. Not just a dream. Others were also quite shocked. The Rocket Team mobilized almost all their strength. Unable to find the dream's place. Just extracted some dreamy DNA based on the dreamy trail. It can be seen from this how rare dreams are. And now, surprisingly, fantasy has really been found. Near the outskirts of Joban City. In a temporary camp. Xiaoxia, who was flipping through her diary, suddenly looked up at Xiao Jiang, who was cooking next to her. Xiao Jiang, is there an elf called Dream in this world? Fantasy. Wrinkled his brow and pondered for a while, even checking the elf encyclopedia he carried with him. Xiao Gang, who had achieved nothing, shook his head slightly at Xiao Xia. No, at least I didn't know there was such an elf. Xiaoxia, where did you hear this name from? Attracted by the conversation between 2 people. Xiao Ji, who was training elves, also looked over. Fantasy. Is that a rare elf? If it is, then I must subdue it. Pick up. Pick up. Hee, Xiaoji, you probably don't have much chance. Hey. Why do you say that? There was no response to Xiao Ji's words. Xiaoxia continued to focus on the diary in her hand. And from the perspective of Xiao Gang and Xiao Ji, look over. Where does a diary exist? Xiaoxia was just bowing her head in contemplation. Chapter 6. Dream Follow, People Who Predict the Future. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Luck has arrived, I can't even stop it. Perhaps this is the protagonist's halo. Everyone. You are so beautiful. However, it seems that we haven't been able to tame the fantasy yet. Of course, that's not a problem. Don't we understand her dreamy personality yet? Judging from my sugar-coated bullet attack, she must be called a never-ending one. Since everyone has come to my side, then you don't want to run away. In short, the initial elf is completely in control. See the content in the diary. Bobo on the side sneered contemptuously. Oh, you still want to hold on to me? If you don't know the true situation, it's okay. Now we all know that your purpose is impure, and you still want to corrupt me with sugar-coated bullets. There's no door. But if you could eat such delicious elf food every day, it's not impossible to consider it since I have guessed my dream identity. Su Lin's breakfast prepared for the dream also cost a lot of money. Now it seems that there is indeed some effect. Well, next, let's follow the previous plan and go to the Chengdu area. Even if the Shuidu siblings cannot all be subdued, at least Latias must not let go city capital area. See the content in the diary. The first person who couldn't sit still was Sakaki. Chaomeng fled, revealing his identity. This diary seems to have a kind of magic that has determined Sakaki's next path. Unfortunately. Except for these two things. The rest of the content has nothing to do with him. Changpan Daoguan is exposed. Sakaki, the behind-the-scenes boss, was forced to leave. The next thing is almost foreseeable. The Quartz Alliance will definitely begin a massive crackdown on the rocket teams in the Guandu area. Sakaki is eager to know the direction of what will happen next. Regardless of whether the owner of this diary can predict the future. Sakaki must control it in his own hands. Oh, you really hit the gun barrel. Don't you know that I've already shifted the rocket's focus to the city? Shuidu. Should be the Sea Pearl city of Otomar, right? A real bird. Get Su Lin's next move. Sakaki immediately contacted his secretary, Makino. Although I still don't know the specific information about Su Lin. The searchable range has been significantly reduced. Just carefully search for the people who have been traveling to and from Otomar during this period. I believe there will definitely be gains. Except for the rockets. Many others also set off after learning that Su Lin was about to go to the urban area. This includes Chaomeng. By the way, the Quartz Conference is about to be held. Before going to the city, why not make some money from it first? After all, cultivating elves is a costly task. This little dreamy guy can eat and play at the same time. Without some financial resources, he really can't hold on this time. The content that appeared in the diary caught Kona's attention. As one of the 4 heavenly kings of the Quartz Alliance, Kona understands how important the Alliance Conference is. This is not only a major event of global concern. It is also a means for the Elf Alliance to select excellent seeds. Anyway, the Quartz Conference must not be compromised. What does he want to do? Did he intervene in the Quartz Conference through some means? Kona pondered on it. New content has gradually emerged from the diary. This is Xiaoji's debut. Although the result cannot be said to be too good, it is also possible to make it to the top 16. Well, I'm also clear about the results of the other contestants. It must be easy to earn millions with this information, hahaha, Xiaoji. In the top 16. How could it be? Even though the competition hasn't started yet, why can we determine Xiaoji's ranking? Xiaoxia, what are you muttering about? Come over and have dinner quickly. Pickup truck as companions traveling together. Xiaoxia is well aware of how important the Quartz Conference is to Xiaoji. Can Xiaoji be satisfied with the results of the top 16? Forcefully suppress a worried expression. Xiaoxia looked up at Xiaoji and Xiaojiang not far away. Just a moment, I'll be right here. As the words fell, Xiaoxia lowered her head again and focused her attention on the diary in her hand. What's Xiaoxia doing? I feel like she's been acting a bit abnormal these past few days. Pickup truck. Not just Xiaoxia. On the other side, Kona, who was sitting in the Changpan Taoist Hall, also frowned deeply. The Quartz Conference has not yet been held, and even the list of contestants has not been determined yet. How can he predict the results? Does he really have the ability to predict the future? Xiaoji, this is the second time this name has appeared, and this person may also be very important. Countless people are looking forward to the following text of the diary. However, Su Lin's diary came to an abrupt end. Due to the continuous accumulation of rewards, it is not possible to obtain them in real time. Su Lin is not in a hurry to finish her diary in one go every day. But when I remember it, I write some down. This doesn't have much impact on Su Lin himself. It's just that those who have been waiting for Su Lin's words are suffering. Especially Sakaki, the big boss of the rockets. After waiting for a long time, no new content appeared in the diary. Sakaki's resentment toward Su Lin was even greater in his heart. Today's content has nothing to do with Mao from the Rockets. I am unable to know the future development of the matter. Sakaki felt like a cat scratching in his heart, extremely anxious. In addition, Su Lin claimed that the dream was right beside him. Sakaki's desire to capture Su Lin is even more intense. Anyway, I must get this guy. This side of Chongpan City. Su Lin tidied everything up. Then he got up and walked to the door. Bobo, let's go. It's time to leave here. Bo. Upon hearing Su Lin's greeting, Bobo quickly flapped his wings and landed on Su Lin's shoulder. Previously, it was just because of curiosity. And only then did the snacks and toys of the entire house remain. But now, fantasy really wants to follow Su Lin's side. On the one hand, it is to see what methods Su Lin will use to buy himself. On the other hand, if I could follow Su Lin's side, I always feel like I would encounter countless new and interesting things. Chapter 7. The world's most beautiful girl has already started dating you. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Just left Joban City. Su Lin saw several familiar figures. In addition to being pleasantly surprised, I immediately began writing a new diary in my mind. Oh ho! Today's luck was really good. I didn't expect to meet the protagonist team as soon as I left. The sudden vibration of the diary stunned Xiaoxia at the dining table. Don't worry about Xiao Ji and Xiao Gang on the side. Xiaoxia quickly opened her diary to check for new content. The protagonist. What does this mean? This is not making a movie. Why did a team of protagonists emerge? Xiaoxia, Xiaojiang, Pishin, they were really the initial lineup. There were quite a few of them. Hey! See new content in the diary. Xiaoxia looked shocked. Why did her name suddenly appear? Wait. Did you just say that the protagonist team is correct? So. I'm also a member of the main character group. Be aware of this. Xiaoxia immediately lifted her head and looked around. Since it's the main group, that will definitely attract attention from all over the world. Maybe there are countless cameras following around. By the way, how was my makeup today? When I think of this question, Xiaoxia immediately opened her carry-on bag. Take out the small mirror and start applying makeup. Influenced by 3 older sisters, Xiaoxia's skill in this area is not weak at all. Despite claiming to be the world's most beautiful girl. But facing the camera. Anyway, it's important to showcase the most perfect side, isn't it? Xiaoxia, what are you suddenly doing? Pickup truck. Xiaoxia's actions left Xiaoji and Pikachu beside her with question marks on their heads. Even Xiaojiang doesn't know why. And Xiaoxia doesn't have time to explain to them. The top priority. Nature wants to show audiences all over the world their most perfect side. Finally, I've seen the true master of Xiaoji, but as the protagonist, why don't you have any momentum? You look like a passerby. Xiao Gang. Well, let's not comment for now. Xiaoxia looks much better than I remember, but she's still a bit lacking in meaning. She definitely can't compare to her 3 sisters, and compared to other female protagonists, she's probably a bit inferior. See what was said earlier. Xiaoxia also thinks that Su Lin has great vision and is in a pretty good mood. However, the following content immediately filled Xiaoxia's anger slot. Is it a bit lacking in meaning? What do you mean by this? Speak clearly to my mother. Even if it's not as good as the 3 older sisters. What kind of ghosts are the other female leads? Are there any other female leads? Even if there are, where am I inferior to them? Impossible. I am the world's #1 beautiful girl. You ignorant soul is weak. Pickup truck. Pikachu, what's wrong? Suddenly, there was movement coming from the nearby grass. Following Pikachu's gaze, Xiao Ji and Xiao Gang looked over at the same time. At the same time, Sulin cleared the bushes blocking the way and slowly walked out of the forest. Bo, not yet waiting for Su Lin to speak. Attracted by the aroma of food on the table, Bobo took the initiative to flap his wings and landed on the dining table. Pickup truck. Bo, dream this little guy, he's used to being casual in his daily life. Now I am not afraid of life at all. Squeezing towards Pikachu, who was quite familiar with him. It was only natural to share his lunch with Pikachu. Seeing this scene, Su Lin couldn't help but smile helplessly. Oh, I'm really sorry about that. My family's Bobo is too impolite, but such an attractive delicacy, even my trainer can't hold on to it. Not just an apology. He also praised Xiao Gang's craftsmanship from the side. Xiao Ji and his team didn't feel offended at all. On the contrary, looking at Su Lin walking towards him with a smile on his face. Everyone still has a feeling of being bathed in spring breeze. It's okay. We should have helped each other when we're out, just for lunch. If you don't mind, would you like to join us? Then it's better to be respectful than obedient. While responding to Xiao Gang's invitation, Sulin glanced at the dream of playing with Pikachu. What just said was not just for Xiao Ji and his team to listen to. The meaning in Su Lin's discourse. I also regard myself as a dreamy trainer. Dream did not refute. I don't know if I didn't hear or if I didn't care at all. Anyway, this can be considered a good start. With the passage of time, this subtle interaction gradually established an unbreakable connection between Dream and Su Lin. Unlike the hospitable Xiao Gang and Xiao Ji. See Su Lin. Xiaoxia's anger immediately found a point to vent. Okay. Is that you, right? It must be you. You wrote everything in your diary. There are no other people around. Combine the content from the diary. Xiaoxia can easily guess Su Lin's identity. Surprisingly, I'm not as good as the three sisters. Okay, compared to them, I do look like an ugly duckling, but what about the other female leads? I haven't even seen them. Why do you think I'm not as good as them? Feeling the scorching gaze on the side, Su Lin turned her head to look at Xiaoxia next to her. Although I don't understand why Xiaoxia has been examining herself like this since she appeared. However, Su Lin still took the initiative to speak up. Hello, I'm Su Lin, a new trainer. Su Lin suddenly spoke up. On the contrary, it made Xiaoxia feel a bit uncomfortable. After a moment of pinching, Xiaoxia slowly spoke up and introduced her identity. Su Lin, it's really you, this guy. Don't think that if you look handsome, I will forgive you. At least I won't forgive you so easily. Su Lin looks sunny and handsome, with a gentle personality, giving people a feeling of basking in spring breeze. This is why he was able to quickly integrate into Xiaoji and his team. It is also a place where Xiaoxia is conflicted. The content in the diary made Xiaoxia quite unhappy. I even prepared a huge fist for Su Lin. Do you really think the weird girl is just joking? However, a pair of soft smiles from Su Lin. Xiaoxia immediately vented her anger. Well, forget it, for now, let's take a look at what will come later. Xiaoxia, did you say anything? It's nothing. You've been really strange lately. On the dining table, Xiao Ji may be puzzled. But soon this matter was forgotten. Then he started talking to Su Lin. Xiao Ji has such a carefree personality. And during the conversation with Xiao Ji, Su Lin is also constantly improving his diary for today. Just starting out, Xiao Ji, although equipped with the protagonist's aura, is indeed quite immature. I haven't seen any other elves, but just looking at the Pai Shen shows that Xiaoji's training is still far from enough. At this level, being able to achieve the top 16 at the Quartz Conference can already be considered a stroke of luck. Chapter 8. 5 Openings. Being able to share the same color as dreams. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. That's right, that's right. See new content in the diary. Xiaoxia couldn't help but nod and praise. As companions who have traveled all the way, Xiaoxia knows Xiaoxi's strength very well. I won't say anything else. Just talk about the emblem of the museum. Except for the unchallenged Chang Pandao Hall. Half of the badge on Xiaoxi's hand was obtained through means other than combat. Is this suitable? Do you think this is suitable? Ah. Xiaoxia, what are you talking about again? Xiaoxia's voice is not loud. Don't say it's Xiaoxi. Even Su Lin sitting on the side couldn't hear clearly. What did I say? I said. By the way, Xiaoxi, don't you think you're a bit lax now? Ha. I haven't waited for Xiaoxi to react yet. Xiaoxia continued to speak. Xiaoxi, along the way, how many Taoist school badges have you obtained with your true abilities? Half of the Taoist school badges were not obtained by you after defeating the Taoist school owner, right? Your exercise is far from enough. Xiaoxia's sudden criticism made Xiaoxi also feel a bit dissatisfied. I only defeated you before, how are you? That's just your luck. What are you saying? Xiaoxi, are you really confident that you can win the Quartz Conference now? Besides, even compared to Xiao Mao, are you still far behind? Watching the atmosphere between the two of them getting increasingly out of place, Xiao Gang quickly stood up to make a comeback. Alright, why did we suddenly start arguing? If we don't hurry up, the food will be cold. On the journey, there have been many disputes between the two people. But among companions, they can quickly reconcile as before. However, this time, even with Xiao Jiang's dissuasion, Xiaoxia doesn't seem to have the intention of stopping easily either. Xiaoxi, the smooth progress all along has made you feel a bit proud and overwhelmed. If this continues, you will definitely suffer a big loss at the Quartz Conference. Being together for so long, Xiaoxia naturally regarded Xiaoxi as a trustworthy companion for a long time. That's why Xiaoxia doesn't want Xiaoxi to be discouraged. According to the statement in the diary, this Quartz Conference, Xiaoxi is determined to lose. Even if it reaches the top 16. It also relies on the help of luck. Xiaoxi is eager to prove himself and become famous in the first battle at the conference. Xiaoxia and Xiao Jiang, these two companions, are very clear. Overwhelmed with pride. I didn't have it. Even though I had good training, did I, Pikachu? Pickup truck, since Xiaoxia, you don't believe me, then I'll prove it to you. The words fell. Xiaoxi suddenly clenched his fist and looked at Su Lin on the side. Su Lin, please have a spirit battle with me. I want Xiaoxia to see my strength. Hey. Due to the fact that only the individual can see the copy of the diary, even Su Lin was unaware of this matter. So Su Lin is not sure why Xiaoxia suddenly aimed her spear at Xiaoxi. Actually, it's still the pot where he left the content in his diary. And for Xiaoxi's sudden duel invitation, Su Lin is also a bit confused. Cough, Xiaoxi, are you sure you want to fight against me as an elf? Yes. Please. Xiaoxi. What are you suddenly doing? Don't trouble others so easily. Xiaoxi turned a deaf ear to Xiaoxia's words. At this moment, he just wants to prove himself through a fierce battle. For elf battles, Su Lin can accept it. But the problem is Su Lin looked at the dining table. The little dreamy guy is still burying his head in hardship at this moment. It seems unaffected by the surrounding atmosphere. At present, there is only one elf in Su Lin's hand, Dream. No, to be precise, Fantasy doesn't even count as Su Lin's elf. If it's a battle, I don't have a problem, I just don't know Bobo and her. Bo. Suddenly called to oneself. The dreamy incarnation of Bobo looked up with a silly and cute expression. There are still a lot of food crumbs on the lips. Popo. Please join me in a battle with Sulin. Xiaoji, this guy. Should we say he has one track or no brain? Please don't worry about this trainer, Sulin. Now he's actually going to beg an elf. Pikachu. Just like my own trainer. Pikachu also approached Popo's side. A face full of eagerness to try. Elves and trainers are one heart and one mind. Xiaoji was criticized. Pikachu also felt somewhat resentful in his heart. If a battle can change Xiaoxia's outlook. Of course Pikachu is also very willing. Bo. Dream has just been competing with food. I'm not sure what happened. However, it does not hinder her from participating in fun activities. Pikachu is a new acquaintance. Playing around with new friends, in the eyes of fantasy, this is a very interesting thing. Bo, flapping his wings, the dream flew back onto Su Lin's shoulder. See this scene. Su Lin couldn't help but slightly curl up the corner of his mouth. Firstly, there is no objection to being seen as one's own elf. Now willing to fight side by side with oneself. Continue to develop according to this trend. Will the days when I dream of becoming my own elf be far behind? Xiaoji, it seems that Bobo has agreed. Great. Pickup truck. Since it has been decided to fight. Both of them are not wasting time either. Carrying their respective elves, they walk to the empty space on the side. Alas, why did things suddenly turn out like this? It took a lot of effort to prepare lunch. Looking at the two people about to start fighting, Xiaojiang next to him looked helpless. As for Xiaoxia, he focused all his attention on the diary in his hand. Because at this moment, new content appeared in the diary. Elf battle. This can be considered my first battle as a trainer. There is a fantasy as a partner, and the opponent is a world protagonist like Xiaoji. TSK, this battle is really not ordinary at all. Is it a bit bullying to just fight against Xiaoji with dreams? Well, let's not worry, anyway, Paishan himself is also a cheat. No matter who he is against, he can be half-hearted. Maybe he can even have an equal chance with Dream. Hey. Xiaoji's Pikachu. Is he really so powerful? See the content in the diary. Xiaoxia looked shocked. Pikachu, who played cute roles for more than half of the journey. Surprisingly able to compete with legendary elves in 5 ways. At this moment, Xiaoxia was not the only one who was extremely shocked. Rocket Team boss Sakaki was also filled with shock. Fantasy, there are elves who can share the same fate as fantasy. Pai Shen. What kind of elf is this? Xiaoji. Who is this? Chapter 9. Women will only affect my speed of becoming a master. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Wow, is Pikachu so powerful? Okay, since that's the case, then I also need to show some real strength. Just like Xiaoxia. Fantasy can also see the diary content written by Su Lin. Since Su Lin claims that this Pikachu is a god. So I'm sure his combat power is also extremely powerful, right? Therefore, Dream also decided to come up with some real skills. Of course, neither Su Lin nor Xiaoji knew about these things. Okay, Pikachu, let's go. Pickup truck. So. Popo, please. Bo, Su Lin and Xiaoji stood on both sides of the open space. As it is a regular sparring. There is no need for a referee or anything. Two elves enter. The battle will begin directly. This battle is for Xiaoji to prove his strength. With full of fighting spirit, Xiaoji immediately let Pikachu use his speed to launch a preemptive attack. Pikachu, use a flash of lightning. Wave, move at high speed, rise rapidly. Just like Xiaoji. Pikachu is still in the cute new stage. And unless it's a life or death crisis. In regular battles, Paishin usually plays half the battle. The strength of the two elves is vastly different. Pikachu is not exploding now. Therefore, this battle has just begun. The situation can be said to be completely one-sided. Pikachu, transformed into an electric light, ran rapidly. However, the speed of the waves is faster. At high speed, he easily lifted his height to avoid Pikachu's attack. Immediately after, the small wings flapped wildly. Hoo! 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 In an instant, a strong wind broke out. Dream has not yet recognized its owner. This is the first time that Su Lin has cooperated in the battle. Naturally, it is impossible to follow Su Lin's instructions for everything, as independent thinking dominates. Simply put, it has strong subjective initiative. But Su Lin doesn't mind either. Note the state of the dream at this moment. Take advantage of the situation and give an order. Bobo, unleash the tornado in its current state. Bo, the howling strong wind instantly condensed into a gust. A dragon-like tornado roared towards Pikachu. It's just a small trick with the power of 40. When Bo uses it, it feels like a final kill move. Pikachu, be careful. Move away. Pick up. Oh. Here we go. Here we go, Xiaoji's divine skill dodges. Xiaoji's command was already timely. Pikachu's reaction was also quick. However, the gap between the two sides is too great. The speed is not at the same level at all. So, the dreamy tornado hit head-on without any surprise. Pickup truck. The roaring tornado swept Pikachu into mid-air. It wasn't until the energy dissipated that Pikachu fell from high altitude. At this moment, Pikachu in mid-air had already fainted. Completely lose combat capability. One hit will determine the winner. Pikachu. Xiaoji looked incredulous. I can't believe my Pikachu was defeated so quickly. Why hasn't it started yet? Is it over now? Popo. Catch Pikachu. Bo, the waves curved in the sky. Instantly fly below Pikachu and catch it. Avoided the result of Pichu colliding with the ground. Fluttering its wings and falling back to the ground. At this moment, Pikachu on Bobo's back also woke up. Pikachu, are you okay? Pickup truck. Xiaoji immediately picked up Pikachu and examined his injuries. Well, as expected, Xiaoji still treats elves with sincerity as usual, but how can you forget Bijiao? How can you forget it? Do you know how long he waited for you? Ah. You talkative guy, de Bai Niao. Are you talking about Xiaoji's Bai Niao? The relationship between Bai Niao and Xiaoji is also very good. Is it what will happen after they evolve into de Bai Niao? The new content in the diary made Xiaoxia feel confused. I am not sure about the specific situation. However, this does not prevent her from continuing to criticize Xiaoji. Didn't you just want to prove yourself? Why did you start the battle with a big bump? Do you dare to say that you have already grown enough? Do you dare to say that you will definitely show off your skills at the quartz conference? Sulin, Bobo, you guys are so amazing. The battle is over. Xiaoji doesn't show any signs of setbacks. On the contrary, this guy had stars in his eyes and looked at Su Lin and Bobo with a look of admiration. Capable of defeating Pikachu with one strike. At least in Xiaoji's opinion. This is something that only very, very skilled trainers can achieve. You know, Pikachu is his initial elf. Huh, it's okay. Bobo. Xiaoji's heartless expression left Xiaoxia on the side unsure how to speak. Xiaoji, you. Ultimately, Xiaoxia still cares about Xiaoji. But look at Xiaoji like this. I shouldn't be able to listen to any preaching in the short term. Anyway, there is still some time before the court's conference. Xiaoxia plans to take advantage of the time before the conference to urge Xiaoji to undergo special training. Sulin, come on, sit here. Let's share our experience of training elves together. Pickup truck, the battle is over. Everyone returned to the dining table. To Su Lin's surprise, the food on the table was surprisingly all hot. On the one hand, it is because the battle ended relatively quickly. On the other hand, it's because Xiaojiang actually reheated all the dishes in such a short amount of time. This level of thoughtfulness left Su Lin in awe. Wow, she truly deserves to be a male mother. With Xiaojiang's hard-working companion around, no wonder Xiaoji's journey has been smooth all the way water male. Male mother. Puff. Suddenly seeing new content in the diary. Xiaoxia almost burst and sprayed out. Cough, wait a moment, think carefully. Does Xiaojiang really look a bit like him? Well, he always prepares everything for his usual travels, and he almost takes care of the dishes along the way. The most important thing is, I will also talk to my friends like an old lady. Ha! Why do you increasingly feel that what Su Lin said is right? Thoughts surged in my mind. Xiaoxia found herself increasingly unable to look directly at Xiaojiang. Well, Xiaoji is too enthusiastic, isn't he? Isn't it just a battle with you? Is it necessary to hold me and sit next to you? Isn't it okay for me to sit with Xiaoxia? I really have no vision at all. Xiaoxia. Have you finally discovered the charm of this beautiful girl like me? However, when it comes to combat, Xiaoji is really passionate about it, to the point where he even regards girls as nothing. No wonder you met so many girls later but ended up single. Tisk tsk, since that's the case, why don't I help those single girls? Chapter 10. The Champion Master is on his way. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Well, Xiaoxia won't say anything about it for now. Xiaoyao, Xiaoguang. I'll just accept these younger sisters. Oh, wait a moment, isn't it good to take so many wives? Speaking of which, there shouldn't be bigamy in this world, right? Xiaoyao. Xiaoguang. Who are these? Is it the companion of Xiaoji's future travels? Leaving these aside for now, why did they just pass me by and not mention them? Where is my girl worse than them? Do you still want to open the harem and get a bunch of wives? I'll tell you, as long as I'm here, don't even think about it. Xiaoxia's anger was finally suppressed. Excited by the content in the diary. In an instant, it came up again. Girls always have a sense of comparison. Although I haven't seen any female leads from other regions. But Xiaoxia doesn't think she will be worse than them. Su Linyue doesn't care about her. Xiaoxia wanted to grab all of Su Lin's attention in her own hands. Although young and beautiful girls are good, but upon careful consideration, it's true that mature and sexy big sisters are still needed. The Kona Heavenly King in the Guandu region is a good choice, and there is also the wife of Sharona in the Shineo region. Hey Hihi, Helona's wife. I've made a decision. I'll go see Helona's wife as soon as the water festival is over. Ku. Master Kona. How dare you have ulterior motives towards Master Kona? Kona has always been Xiaoxia's idol. See new content in Su Lin's diary. Xiaoxia unconsciously clenched her fist. Even carefully scrutinized Su Lin. Thinking about how to exert force so that Su Lin can feel pain without breaking his appearance but as the protagonist of the diary content. At this moment, Kona, who was sitting at the Changpan Taoist Hall, was not angry. As one of the 4 heavenly kings of the alliance, she is another mature imperial sister. There are naturally countless admirers behind Kona. But the one who truly dares to express love so bluntly is the first time. While feeling novel. Kona also became increasingly curious about the identity of the diary owner. Of course, it's not just Kona. The content of this diary also caught the attention of another protagonist. Shineo champion Helona. Su Lin's diary, copy of Helona, looking at the diary in my hand. Zyrona didn't know for a moment whether to cry or laugh. The previous content is still considered normal. But why do you just call your wife when you get here? Who is your wife? Zilluona also doesn't know when this Su Lin diary appeared. When she discovered it. This diary is already at hand. At first, I didn't pay attention. However, all the content in yesterday's diary was actually realized. As the champion of the Divine Olympics, Zilluona was also the first to learn about the betrayal of the master of the Daoguan in the Guandu area. The Rockets are a formidable enemy of the League. The secret base of the Rocket team is hidden underground in the official museum. This is definitely not a small matter. And this diary can actually accurately identify Sakaki's identity. There is even a faint feeling of predicting the future. Affected by this, Zilluona carried her diary with her. Prepared to see what new content will appear in the diary next. Previously, Helona had been watching fun all along. I was also surprised by Su Lin's jumping ideas. However, I didn't expect it. Watching this fun turn me into someone else's fun, well, when it comes to it, my grandmother has always been worried about my happiness. Since becoming the league champion, I haven't had much time to date either. If this Su Lin meets my expectations, it's not impossible. Zilluona murmured to herself. My cheeks also slowly turned red. However, Helona quickly realized. Shake your head fiercely. No. No. What the hell am I thinking? I haven't even met before, and I don't even know anything about it. Just call someone else's wife when you come up, and actually want to open an harem. Hmph, you're so beautiful. This must be a frivolous guy. Yes. It must be like this. Well, since that's the case, then I'll go teach him a good lesson. That's right, that's it. Whispering to oneself in a low voice. Zilluona seemed to have convinced herself. Finally, he nodded fiercely, as if adding some persuasiveness to his argument. Ah, Master Sharona, do you also want to board the ship? Could you please? This is my ticket. No, 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 no trouble. It's my honor to be able to serve you. Alright, it's already done. Please board the ship. The ticket inspector took the ticket from Sharona's hand and showed a standard professional smile. Zilluona nodded slightly and walked onto the airship with her bow. That's right, this is Shinao's airport. Countless airships and passenger planes travel here. Zilluona's destination this time is exactly the water pearl Audemars mentioned in Sulin's diary. Of course, Helona was not only influenced by the content of her diary to plan to meet the mysterious Sulin. More importantly, it is due to the mission of the Alliance. Secondly, there is the legendary elf Ladias. As a top trainer in the league. Upon learning the news of the legendary elf, Sharona also wants to give it a try and see if she can tame the legendary elves. After all, it is said that elves have great attraction to any trainer. Su Lin, I hope our first meeting won't surprise you too much. With the idea of bringing some surprises to the diary owner, Hirona boarded the airship heading to Audemars. On the other side, Su Lin, who didn't even know he was being targeted, finished a sumptuous lunch with Xiao Ji and his group. During this period, Su Lin was pulled by Xiao Ji and asked many questions about training elves. After lunch, it's time to part ways. I'm really satisfied, it's so delicious. Xiao Gang, thank you very much for your hospitality. Su Lin, it would be great if you could be satisfied. After a moment of gratitude, Su Lin proposed to bid farewell and leave. Su Lin, will you also appear at the quartz conference? You'll have to fight with me again when the time comes. Pickup truck, tisk, Xiaoji, why are you all thinking about battles? No wonder you can't find a girlfriend. This will make Huazi suffer from anxiety, you know. That's right. That's right. Sulin had no idea at all. The content he just wrote. In an instant, she received complete approval from the beautiful woman. Su Lin's diary, Flower Seed Dungeon. Looking at the diary in my hand. Huazi has a feeling of finding a kindred spirit.